All right, we are live. Welcome to those visiting, viewing online. Glad to have you with us. And those here, really happy to have you for this Weekly Wise. I'm very excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them. But this one, I probably say it all the time, but this one especially. For those that are new to Weekly Wise, just want to tell you a little bit about who we are, why we're doing this, and what we're up to. Some time ago, back in, it was about April, we, as a family, the Parks, hosted Ben & Jerry's Free Cone Day Utah, because Ben & Jerry's has their Free Cone Day every year, and we didn't have one in Utah. So we decided to buy the ice cream and do it ourselves, and we ended up buying a whole lot of ice cream, and we had a ton left over, and we thought, what in the world are we going to do with all this ice cream? Now, I'm not worried about it, don't get me wrong. Happy to eat it. But we also wanted to figure out how could we use it in a way that's in conjunction with our business, but also that really just makes people excited about something, something that provides a lot of value, that just is a great setup. And with some brainstorming, especially of my wife and my brother-in-law and his wife, they came up with this idea, and then they told me about it, and I loved it, and we formed Weekly Wise, where we invite someone who has a message, who has a why, something inside them that they want to share, and give them a stage to share it. And from that, then we also enjoy Ben & Jerry's after. So it's a great setup. Today, it's my pleasure to be able to introduce Chris Miles, who is a man that I admire. I feel thrilled that he was willing to come and be with us today. He is, oh goodness, how do I begin to describe Chris Miles? He's been on CNN Money, he's been on Bankrate, he's been on US News. You wanted to say like handsome and rich and all that stuff too. Has a very attractive, mustache and beard and all that. But he's a person I consider a friend and a mentor to me, and frankly, as I've learned, and I love finance. That's something that just personally resonates with me. I always have. I love spreadsheets and numbers and everything like it, and I have learned so much from Chris. I'm so glad to have him with us. So, without further ado, Chris Miles.
Well, hello everybody. This is so weird to see my belly. This is great. I love it. All right, so I am Chris Miles. For those of you who don't know me, I am a cash flow expert, and I'm the financial advocate for the entrepreneur. And so my whole thing here is I want to talk about today is about you. Not so much about me, but about you especially. Because this is always about Weekly Why, right? This is the why behind everything. So why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing every day? What's that purpose? And more importantly, how do you profit from that purpose? Because how many of you have heard the phrase, in fact, maybe you can even complete it for me, do what you love and the money will, what? Follow, right? Do what you love and the money will follow. So we hear this all the time. So
Robert Kiyosaki says, do what you love and you're going to do it a lot.
Yeah, do what you love, do it a lot. There's all kinds of phrases, right? So yeah, do what you love and the money will follow. How many times have we heard this over and over? But let me tell you something. That is a lie. Do what you love and the money will follow is not true. If it were, how is it that there's so many people that are really passionately broke about what they do? You ever met those people? Like, they love everything they do. They're so excited day after day, and they'll tell you and vomit all over you about how amazing it is, only to tell you they haven't made a dime doing it, right? Doing what you love will not mean that you make more money. Now, don't get me wrong, passion is very important, and we'll talk about that. But there's a big difference between having passion and just being passionate, and one that makes money and the one that doesn't. And so I'm here to talk to you about how to actually make money doing what you love, because I truly believe that that is the #1 investment in your life. It's not in mutual funds, it's not investing in the stock market, it's not even just doing real estate or anything like that. It's really all about how do you really invest in the #1 investment for you, which is your passion, and aligning with that in a way that makes money. Now, this seems weird because I am a financial guy and I'm talking about this, but the thing is, I actually started off being a financial advisor, teaching people not to do what they love. In fact, it was always about how do you make more money so that someday maybe you can actually do what you love, right? I mean, how many of you guys have heard that forever, right?
Yeah.
That's not what we want here. That's the opposite. Because here's what happens. You're going to keep delaying that beautiful life that you so want, and you delay it, and you delay it, and over, the next thing you know, you have nothing. You have hardly any life left, and you let your life pass on by. You let your family pass on by. You let them grow up without you. You didn't actually create those memories and treasure those things that really are important. And so you've got to have that passion. You've got to have that purpose behind what you do. And so when I was a financial advisor, my whole thing was, hey, if I could be 40 years old and retire with $2 million in some mutual fund that will pay me interest, that was the ideal. I was like, oh, I've made it. It's the promised land, right? It's like Iowa or something. And so you're like, yes, I can do it. And so my whole goal is just to save, and build it through my business. Save. But the cool thing is I actually met millionaires that said, hey, that stuff is crap. Don't do it. Do the opposite. Do the opposite of that. And so they said, no, it's about cash flow, not accumulation. Or as I like to say, it's about acceleration, not accumulation. And so they said, hey, no, do it differently. Focus on the streams of income and cash flow. And this is 2006. So I actually was a financial advisor until the beginning of 2006. I quit in March. And then by July, I was in a place where I could retire. I had more than enough streams of income coming in, working 3 hours a week. I know, it was hard work. It stunk. I hated it. But here's what's interesting, what I learned. By the way, I only had $2,000 in the bank account, not $2 million. So I was like 1,000 times off. Here's the key, though, is when I got to that place, and everybody thinks like, oh, I can't wait to get to that financial freedom, that glorious day, right? Only to find out I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And so I had the money, and I was like, well, what do I do now? Now what? And I remember one of my friends asked me, he says, if money were no issue in your life, what would you do? I didn't really have a good answer. I said, I don't know, maybe I'll teach ballroom dancing. You know, because, hey, it's kind of fun to show people how to shake their hips and stuff, right? You know, but that was it. It's like, I don't know what I would do. Like, that seems like fun. I told him I would travel. How many of you guys actually say, oh, I would travel if I had all the money I had that I could spend, right? Yep. Here's the thing, that's what old people say when they don't travel. In fact, you will notice that if anybody says, this is what I want more of in my life, it's usually because they're not doing it currently. And I said, yeah, I want to travel. And I remember one of my friends said, yeah, but what would you do the other 45 weeks out of the year? I thought, wait, that's 7 weeks of travel. That's a lot. And I was like, I don't know what I would do. He said, there's a problem. I got to fly there. All right. I love Utah. There's so many good flights here. Worse where I live, though. Like, it's stinky mink farms. So anyway, I thought, well, I don't know what I would do. And so I was wandering. I was trying to find purpose because I had no purpose. I had money, but no purpose. And when you have money without a mission, it's merely materialism. That's what it is. Money without a mission is merely materialism. And so I had money and I could spend it, but I had no purpose behind it. That's when I realized my life had to be about something much, much more, much greater than just making money. It had to be about something else. And so I spent the several months trying to figure out what am I going to do. I almost bought a movie theater because I saw the movie The Majestic with Jim Carrey, and I thought, well, that would be cool. But then that was like $200,000 of renovation. I said, forget movie theaters. I don't like them that much. You know. And I thought, well, maybe I'll open a dance studio. And so I got right to the place of signing papers, and then all of a sudden the voice told me, don't do it. And so I said, well, now what? What am I going to do? And the one thing that kept coming back to me over and over and over was that people kept coming and asking me questions of, well, how do you do what you do? In fact, what do you do? And because I had no good answer for them, I said, I sell drugs. I sell drugs, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I do. And so I just kind of filled in the gaps of just to try to get them to stop asking questions, right? But eventually I realized they were asking me these questions for a reason. They want to know how I did what I did. They wanted to do the same thing. And the thing is, I learned so many lessons of, you know, what I thought it should be like versus what it really was. I said, I don't even know where to start. And so what happens, by the beginning of 2007, I finally aligned with some of my friends that were millionaires. And actually started a company with them. Some of you might know Gary Gunderson. I started a company with him, worked with him for 6 years, and then 3 years ago, I branched off and created my own brand, which is Money Ripples. And I did that, and I'll tell you, the reason I got into that, in fact, I remember it was December of 06. We were in an unfinished building that we were building. And I remember it was at 2 o'clock that afternoon, I finally thought, you know what, I need to come out of retirement and actually do this. So I remember calling up my wife, and I remember it was on the 3rd floor, I was trying to find a quiet spot because there's a lot of construction workers hammering and stuff. I called my wife and I said, hey, hon, I'm actually going to come out of retirement. I'm going to work in an office again. And she said, can we talk about this? I said, nope, I'm doing it. Sorry. Besides, you hate having a second mom at home. I mean, let's be honest. We just kept fighting about who would raise kids better, and you do not tell your wife how to raise kids better. It does not work. Maybe you figured this out already. I didn't. I was, in my 20s. I was 10 years older than your teens. In your teens, you thought you knew everything. So in your 20s, you thought you knew everything, right? So obviously, I didn't. So I actually came out of retirement and did that. And I'll tell you, it's interesting because I came out of retirement with a passion and a mission. I actually got rid of my income streams, which was kind of a crazy thing to do, actually. And then on top of that, when we did that, we launched into it full on. We all came out of retirement to do this because we were like the black sheep. We'd all done it. We'd all retired. We said, we're coming out of retirement to teach people how to do what we did. We did that. We focused on real estate investors in 2007. Now, how many of you guys remember what happened in 2007, 2008, 2009 with real estate? It was awesome, right? So awesome, in fact, that nobody could pay us, which was really cool considering I ended up cashing out tons of money to be able to start up the business and everything else. Next thing you know, I went from millionaire to upside down millionaire in the whole about $16,000 a month, and I'm wondering, what the heck did I just do? And that was a problem, obviously. It was something I had to solve. And so over time, I started to realize that there were no accidents. Because have you ever realized in your life that everything happens for a reason? I mean, how many of you guys watch Kung Fu Panda? I bet you've seen Kung Fu Panda, huh? Do you like Kung Fu Panda? We got our youngest guy here. You look like you're 4, but you might be younger. I don't know.
3.5.
3.5. Okay, we rounded up to 4. I'm not a numbers guy. I deal with money. Oh, okay. But yeah, in Kung Fu Panda, I mean, how many times do you hear Master Oogway say, there are no accidents, right? And I remember when Master Shifu said, yes, you said that twice. That was no accident either. Thrice, right? That kind of thing. There are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. Your life happens for a purpose. There is a plan and a purpose that happens. Our general purpose is to serve other people, to serve mankind. We are here on this planet to serve other people, to create value and add value and bless people's lives. What unfortunately happens is that we think that's all we have to do. The real thing is that's the purpose of life. The purpose in your life is how do you go about serving other people? What are unique experiences you have that you can use to help people? What's the education you received or training? What have you learned, whether it be from real life or from other aspects? What are unique gifts and abilities that you have in your life that you can turn around and help people? In fact, do you ever get asked questions all the time saying, hey, can I pick your brain? If somebody asks you the same question over and over about picking your brain, that is a clue to start charging money for people. Because if they're asking you this advice, it's because there's a reason, because they believe you have the answer. If they say, can you do something for me, it's because they believe you have a skill that they want to have in their life. Understand that dollars follow value. And remember I said that just because you're passionate does not mean you're not rich, right? It doesn't mean you're rich. You cannot expect to do what you love and the money will follow. It's do what you love that others love you doing, and then the money can follow. Do what you love that others love you doing, and the money can follow. So, just because you can do something, just because you say, hey, I'm passionate about this, nobody cares how passionate you are unless it somehow adds value into their life. It solves a problem, it serves them, it provides some sort of answer to them that they say, I want that in my life. And for that, in exchange, I will pay you money to be able to receive more of that. And in fact, if you do it really well, people say, I cannot live without you. I need you in my life. What can I do to have you? That sounded really kind of creepy.
That sounds like marriage, yeah.
I need you. There are actually those people too. You may not want those people in your life. But there may be people who say no, I really need what you have. Can I give you money in exchange to have more of you in my life? The answer is yes, give it to them. Give them what they want. So the funny thing is in 2008, 2009, I was struggling financially. This is actually when I met guys like Chris Crone and Kevin Clayson and Stephen Miller, people like that. I said, hey guys, you kind of think like me. This is really cool. We created this little mastermind while they're getting nothing going, and we were like trying to come out of this big dip and all that kind of stuff. But I realized that during that period of time, all these things that were happening to me were great experiences for me to gain. Because as I had to get creative, because remember, I had a $16,000 a month hole plus $1 million of debt to pay off, right? I mean, that's so much fun, right? It's so exciting to do. But I had to get creative. I had to get resourceful. I had to figure out how to create money from nothing. So it was funny that I got myself to retire with the very principles I had to use to also get myself out of a mess. Do you think that was an accident?
Doesn't sound like one.
It definitely wasn't. So the cool thing is, like, I had to get creative and get resourceful. That's where I started coming up with my cash flow tips. Now, funny enough, everybody else is going through Great Recession said, Chris, I would love to have your stuff, but I can't afford to pay you because I don't have the money. And I said, no, you have the money because there's no way you're worse off than I was. So let me find it for you. And so I start off by saying, like, here, I'll show you how to pay me. And that was my whole thing. In fact, in any business, by the way, you should be teaching people how to pay you. So I teach them, like, hey, here's how to find the money. Here's how to be able to get the money to be able to pay for me. And then they would actually be able to pay for me. So I was able to answer that question just by simply saying, here's how to do it. Now, over time, I realized, wait, I might be onto something here. This might be what people really want. They didn't care anymore about getting out of the rat race. People just cared that they could pay their bills in the Great Recession, right? So I was like, here's how you find money. Here's how you get creative, even scrappy a little bit, and find all this cash to be able to come in. And I started to do that. And funny enough, right when I finally made it a system in my business, remember I said, do what you love and the money can follow. Because if you do what you love that others love you doing, and you have the right systems in place, it can't follow. This is why you should have mentors that teach you how to have a business. By the way, for those of you that do not have a home-based business, I highly, highly recommend it. Whatever it is, I don't care what business you're in, if it's a hobby, side business, whatever. Just the tax advantages alone that I teach people, you can easily be making an extra $3,000 to $5,000 a year in just tax advantages alone by having a business. You can make almost nothing and still at least save money on taxes from your full-time job. So if you can do that, do that. Because I'm telling you, a home-based business is amazing. Everyone should have something like that where they can create money from it. That's where you get control, and that's where you can get freedom. So I started to figure out, like, wait, people want this. How can I package it? How can I make it into a system? And so I started to create a little process. It was really rough. It had almost no system at first, but it started to eventually gel. I started to realize that time after time as I served people, there were patterns. And I said, oh, what if you do it this way? And I'm one of those people, I like to build a better mousetrap. I love to figure out how we can, like, tweak this or tweak that and make it a little bit better, a little bit here, a little bit there, and try to perfect on it, right? Like, I love to just tweak things like crazy. That's why I love ballroom dancing, because, like, ooh, what if I did this now? What would happen here? And what would happen here? And would I win, or would I get my butt handed me on a silver platter? I probably shouldn't say that, we have a young crowd, but luckily, you know. So anyway, so I was like, how can I perfect it? So over time, I had a system. What's interesting, and again, not an accident, is that when that happens, all of a sudden the right people start to show up in my life. Have you noticed that all of a sudden when you actually prepare and you actually create, sometimes it takes that little leap of faith, like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right? You remember that one where he, like, steps off a ledge, you know, onto the little ledge. Oh, hopefully I'm gonna spoil this movie for anybody. Sorry if you didn't see it. I just told you the end.
20 years old.
20 years old. If you haven't, go to YouTube, right? So anyways, he steps off the ledge. He realized that there's actually ledge there. He thought it was just a big pit and there was a ledge. He took that leap of faith. Sometimes for us, we need to take that leap of faith as well to be able to step over that ledge and say, ooh, okay, I hope this works. And then you do it, and you notice that all of a sudden things kind of synchronize a little bit. They call it the law of synchronicity, right? Things all kind of happen for a reason. They all have that perfect timing. For us, what happened is that right when I created that process, all of a sudden, we had a few people show up. One person in particular, one relationship is all it was. He was a guy that was coaching other chiropractic coaches and chiropractors and whatnot. And he said, all right, we'll give you a shot. And I remember he referred one of his coaches. I remember that guy, he came and we said, hey, I think you're overpaying in taxes. Let's review the past 3 years. And when we looked at the past 3 years' tax returns, we found out he overpaid $100,000. That was money he had overpaid he would never gotten back, because we all know the IRS loves to audit you to say, sorry, you overpaid your taxes. Let's give you some more money back, right? IRS will never do that. They'll always tell you when you owe them, but never when they owe you. So we found $100,000 for him. Do you think he was excited about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super, super excited. So all of a sudden he's like, oh my gosh, you got to check these guys out. They're amazing. And so he started referring other people into his chiropractic clients. And pretty soon we went from making like about $400,000 or $500,000 that year to making over $5 million almost like overnight. All because of one relationship that showed up at the right time when we could serve people the right way. And the thing is, I'll tell you, if I didn't have the passion, I wouldn't have done it. You know, I love what Steve Jobs said in an interview when he was with Bill Gates. And they said, hey, is passion important? He said, yeah, you got to have passion, because no person in their right mind would ever think about going into business. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's way easier to get a job than it is to have your own business, because you're responsible for everything. And so he's like, no, you've got to have passion. Passion will get you through those tough times. And if you don't have that passion in your own life, you don't have passion in what you're doing, you don't have passion in your business, you don't have passion in your investments, you don't have passion in almost anything you do in your life, you'll realize that nothing really works out. It doesn't work the way that you hoped it would. If you want real returns coming back, find a way to infuse your passion into it, you know, and have fun with it. I mean, I was having a heyday, just like, ooh, what can we do next? Like, how can we tweak this, or how can we tweak that? Like, I get excited about perfecting things, right? And how can I like really like do some things here that just rock people's world and make them cry, you know? Because, you know, making people cry is so much fun, right? So it's like, yeah, let's do that. Actually, we did have one guy cry. Like, we found another $50,000 for him. He's like, I can't believe it. It's like, okay, sorry, like, that's enough. So yeah, like, what can you do to serve people? Again, it's not just about the passion, but passion is important. It's necessary. But it's gotta be not about you and your passion. It's gotta be what you can do for others. If you're an artist, for example, don't just paint for yourself and what you think is passionate. That's great. But you know what? Paint that painting that, like, you say, oh, cool. Or do that drawing, you say, that's awesome. This is for me. It means a lot to me. But you know what? Then deliver something that other people want to. Like, infuse your passion both ways. If you can do both, even better. It drives my mom nuts. She's an artist. It drives her absolutely bonkers that sometimes the very painting that people will pay high money for isn't the painting that she puts the most heart into. It's not the one she puts the most time into. It's the one that people want. And a lot of times it's like the simple class painting she just does up really quick. Like, okay, good, that'll be a good 3-hour class for somebody. She did in like 20, 30 minutes, right? But then that's the one that everybody wants to buy. She's like, whoa, I spent days on this huge masterpiece. Like, what about this? And they'll say, no, that's great. Give me that one. Like, I want that one. And it drives her nuts. It drives me nuts sometimes. There's things that I teach. I'm like, this is so amazing. Like, do you understand how cool it is? And people are like, well, that's nice. But that over there, like, oh my gosh, hey, $33,000 a year, I'll take that. Or, hey, how are you retired? Yeah, teach me how to do that instead. Oh, fine, whatever you want, right? It's like, okay, well, I'll teach you the stuff that I do like, and then I'll give you the stuff that you want too. And so that's what I tell people in business a lot of times is, you know what, sell them what they want, but then give them what they need, right? You got to sell them what they want, but give them what they need too. Because, you know, people are like, I just need to make more money. No, you need a lot more than that. There's a lot more training that goes into making money than just go make money, right? Because if that were so easy, wouldn't everybody be making more money right now? Like, if we could just ask the simple question, how do I make more money? Don't you think more people would have made money by now? It hasn't worked. You know, that's not the key. That's not the focus. And so again, infusing your passion into it. Now let me kind of go on about my why and my purpose, because like I came out of retirement for a reason. In fact, I even left my last company because I came out of retirement. Because I came out of retirement not to live a part-time life. Remember, I was saying I was working 3 hours a week? That was great. And I could have had a fabulous life, taking care of my family, enjoying the time with them, and doing all that kind of stuff. All the stuff people dream about, that wasn't my dream. Like, I did dream about that, but I wanted so much more. I feel like I have so many days left on this planet, and I have so many lives I can bless. And if I just simply just go out and do the simple thing of just consuming money, right? Just consuming money and just taking it all in and saying, cool, I can take care of my family, I'm good. What did I just take away from the rest of the world? I believe that God has given us talents and gifts and abilities and experiences to use to bless others' lives. Great catch. It's like ninja reflexes. So, you know, we're here to bless people's lives. So how are you going to go about doing that? I wanted something more. I came out of retirement to do something more with my life. I experienced retirement. It was the worst year of my life. It was horrible. It was boring. It was purposeless. There was no why behind it other than, cool, let's have some fun. You know, let's go do this, let's go do that. That was not freedom. That was not passion. That was not a mission. That was not a purpose. There's got to be more behind it. And so I came out of retirement to do that 9 years ago. And even when I left my last company, I said, hey, my purpose is bigger. I remember it was about 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, I do not like waking up early. I don't know about some of you people. You might be morning glories. Maybe you're a night owl like me. But I do not like to wake up early in the morning on purpose. This morning, I was jolted awake. And I've learned that whenever you're jolted awake in the morning and you feel like you can't go back to sleep, there's probably a reason behind it, right? And so I realized, okay, well, let's go out for a run. This was September of 2012. So 3 years ago, exactly. So I went out for a run, and I was trying to think of what the vision I really had. I felt like I needed a bigger vision than what I had. Because, I mean, it was awesome. I had helped like 500 chiropractors, dentists, and other entrepreneurs find, you know, $40, $50 million up to that point. That's awesome. That blessed a lot of people's lives. But I thought, well, it can't be that small, because that's not my vision. And so I remember thinking the vision, like, it's got to be bigger than that. Like, what is it I really want? And I remember remembering just the individuals' lives I had blessed. I remember focusing on just like one family. I thought, man, if I could just bless one person in that family, like the parents, what would that do for them? Like, I remember one of my clients from North Dakota, like, they were able to get, you know, they were able to get $6,000 a month back in their life. And finally, he gave himself permission to buy a four-wheeler, which made his wife bawl. Not because he left on the four-wheeler, but because he had never given himself permission to buy anything. And finally, he got something that he was able to create memories with his family. And that's what she wanted. She wanted that time back with her husband, who felt like he was trapped owning a job. He had a business, but it felt like he owned the job, right? And so he was constantly working. And to be able to get that back, and I thought, wow, what would that do, like, in somebody's life, to have their life back? To be able to get some more freedom and better quality of life, have more time with their family. What would that do for their kids? How would that affect them growing up, and how would they learn? Because how awesome it would be to undo all the scarcity training we've been taught with, especially about money, and reverse that, and get now not just the kids, but generations beyond them, going well beyond, creating a legacy in their life. How cool would that be? And so I saw that little ripple. And then I thought, well, what if that could not only affect their family, because that's cool, but what if it could go beyond to their community? Another ripple. And what if that could go out to their nation? Another ripple. And what if that could even go out to the world and create a worldwide impact in people's lives simply by focusing on just one person, one by one, and blessing their lives and creating that ripple effect that expands out. And I realized that in my life, my mission, my why, the thing that gets me going, the thing that got me out of even working for that company, working 10 hours a week, making like 80 grand a year, and say like, yeah, that's great. But I told them, I said, I didn't sign up for a part-time life. I want a full-time life. I want something that creates real impact and meaning, not in hundreds, but in millions of people's lives. And the only way I could do that is by expanding and going out on my own. I remember seeing that ripple effect, and that's when right in my mind, the words came, money ripples. And that's when I named my company. It was about 5:30 in the morning. What was even cooler was that I had looked up websites like Cashflow Today or this or that.com, and it was like $10,000 to buy a website. I looked up Money Ripples, it was like $7.95. I'm thinking, woo! I scored. Thank you, inspiration. Right? Like, that's the kind of thing that was awesome. And that really stuck. Like, that was an image in my mind that really drives me day after day after day. And I'll tell you, there's days I wanted to quit. I don't know about any of you, the rest of you, but you know, some days it kind of sucks being a business owner. You know, it's not fun. But I knew that passion is what drove me. When people would say, you've helped me in so many ways and you don't even know me. Like, I've heard your radio show and I love it, and if it weren't for that, like, I would be doing this, and someday I hope I can even hire you, and all that kind of stuff. Like, those are the things that drive me. And sometimes those very comments will come right when I feel like giving up. Because yeah, even if I have a passion and mission, sometimes I lose sight of it. And so be able to have somebody to help remind you of it again and again and say, no, you're here for a reason. You have a purpose. You have something you're passionate about. You have something you can do to help people. If you would tie that in with your purpose in your life, with your why, it's amazing what kind of a ripple effect you can create in your own lives and the lives of those people around you. And if there's nothing else you can get from today, is don't just focus on the passion or doing what you love and the money will follow. That's not it. It's do what you love that others love you doing, and the money can follow when you do it right. When you have that why behind it, when you have that focus and that mission, and you go and you deliver it in a way that blesses people's lives, where they say, thank you. I needed you in my life. In fact, I feel like I need you more in my life. How can I have you? And you're saying, how can I serve you? And there's that exchange that happens that everybody's edified and everybody's blessed. And we all sing Kumbaya and sing, B-52s, shiny happy people, holding hands, and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome. So anyways, my whole goal to you is ask yourself, if money were no issue, what would you do at that time? What would you really want in your life? If money were no issue, what would you do? And really think about that. Think about it hard. Think about it really intently and ask yourself what it is that I would do regardless of the money. Because you know what? That's the thing that's going to drive you. And if you could tie that in with serving people, then the money can fall on top of that, and then you're basically living a retired life. You were doing what you love like you were retired, but now you're making money at it. How much cooler could that be? So anyway, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. You're awesome. Thank you for being on the web. Thank you for being here live. You guys are amazing. Thanks.
That's great. See, that's why I told you I was so excited, especially for this one. This is fantastic. He has so much. You can feel his passion just in talking about this. And anyway, I could just ramble on and on, so I won't. But thank you. Really appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Next, I just want to introduce my brother-in-law. He's going to give us just a brief talk a little bit about something that Chris mentioned. And that was, in your life, whatever you're doing, find mentors. Find people to show you the way that you want to go. Someone who has been where you're trying to get to. Someone who can coach you along and lead you to where you want to go. And so he's going to talk briefly about that. And then we're going to dig into some Ben and Jerry's. Woo!
For both.
So, come on up, Ben.
Thank you. So, now there are many people, as Chris mentioned, that have an idea of what they love and not making money at it. There's many people who, because of this pervading belief that passion doesn't pay the bills, they're doing what is actually selling themselves out because they're doing something that they're not really passionate about. That it wasn't what they're put on earth to do. It wasn't what they're trying to do. They just don't see the vision. How does this come together to provide me the resources that I need to make it happen? And that's what mentors are all about. So we are talking about the Stromberg Mentoring Network. It is a network of mentors who show you how to live on purpose, live with passion. Chris being one of them, me being an inspiring mentor. Within a few short years, I will be on that network as well. So each person has a gift. Each person has a unique divine mission that only you can achieve. Only you can do it the way that you can do it. No one else can touch that. So I really acquired this idea, this perception. It's sunk deep into my soul, and it drives me and it motivates me. I see people who are doing something similar to what I want to do. That's okay. I don't feel intimidated. I feel encouraged. I feel motivated. I say these people are living the life they want to live. They're living on purpose. I can too. There's no one else that can write me the books I can write. There's no one who can touch the people's lives that I can touch in the way that I can. So why would someone want to plug themselves into this mentoring network? It's exactly the reason. Because pretty much if you're listening to this, then it's likely that this resonates with you, this idea of living with passion, living on purpose. And you recognize deep in your soul you have something to give and something that will bring you so much joy in giving. And so what it is, it's a website. It's more than that, but it's a website, stromberg.com/mentor. There's also a free app that has come out that offers messages from many people that that establish themselves in many areas. And if you were to plug yourself in, here's what we encourage you to do. We encourage you to spend a consistent amount of time hearing, digesting, applying, contemplating, meditating these messages of light, of people who have really come together, have fused their passion into their purpose, and are living this life and profiting from it, thriving. We believe in this network that we are here not only to survive, but to thrive in abundance. We want to thrive in the areas of making wealth, of connections with our fellow human beings, connection with ourselves, and tapping our power, living in physical health. These things are all our birthright. This is what we're dedicated to. So if you were to plug yourself in, we encourage you to put in, maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes every day, a little bit at a time, believing in yourself, investing in yourself. We invest in many things in our society, many things that we spend time and energy and money that we put into. It's interesting that many, perhaps the majority of people don't realize, why not put this money, this time, this energy into yourself, your greatest asset. The greatest piece of real estate anyone owns is right here between your own two ears. So the app is free. There's free content. You can access 9 courses a month. Review those, and if you were to benefit to the highest degree from that, you could upgrade to premium access, in which you can have access to all of this content, which is audio files and video files and PDFs and these different practices that you can use to better yourself. And so, one more thing I want to say about it is coming to me presently. The cost, I said $99 a month. Oh yes, the community. So even more than receiving these messages is you will step into a community of people who are like-minded, who believe in their greatness, who believe in abundance, success, and thrive. And there are live events that are hosted through this community that you'd be able to be a part of. Where people come together and share this vision of prosperity, of abundance. And also within that network, it would give you access to individual mentors that they mentor people one-on-one, or they provide seminars or other coaching programs that would provide you an in to those specific people through that network. So it's a massive movement that we're a part of, and we invite you to be a part of it. We encourage you. With any energy, with any influence that I have, I want to say to everyone here and everyone listening, please love yourself enough to invest in yourself. Believe in yourself enough to invest in yourself, because you're your greatest asset. And no one else can do what you can do. And if you go through life unfulfilled, partially living, you truly are depriving this world of a unique gift that only you can get. So please make a time to look at this, strongbrook.com/mentor. The free access code is what's yours?
21608.
21608 will get you plugged into to Matt's system. So
whoever referred you to this.
Yeah, whoever referred you. 21608. So strongbrook.com/mentor, and then remember the number 21608. And don't worry, this has been recorded, so you can go back and replay that and get yourself plugged in the system. And if you look at it right after we're done with this presentation, and if you don't have time, please believe in yourself. Schedule a time that you will go and look at this. You will be a part of it. So you will believe in yourself. And again, this may not resonate with everyone. That's okay. But what we do hope resonates with you is you. You resonate with you, and we implore you to invest in yourself somehow, some way. So thank you all for this opportunity. I'm very much pleased to be a part of the Strong Brook Mentoring Network, and I'm very much pleased to present the American Dream, which is Chris Miles' favorite ice cream. So we're gonna bring him up, and we're gonna talk to him about it.
You want to do it, or do you want me to? I'll do it. Okay. All right, so we like to do, there's technology unboxings. We like to do an ice cream unboxing. So this is Stephen Colbert. I don't know how you say his last name.
Colbert.
He does say Colbert, like French slap. Okay. French, and then it's American Dream. Who cares? American Dream. It's vanilla ice cream with fudge-covered waffle cone pieces and a caramel swirl. So, to give you a look at this. Oh, yeah. You can see some of the waffle cone pieces in there and some of the caramel swirl. So Chris, enjoy. Yep, a little Ben & Jerry's shovel to go along with it.
All right. I'll try not to break the shovel.
Awesome. With that, thank you so much, and hope you'll join us next week. And do you have the information on it right now?
As they said, September.
No, I mean
19th?
who? I know we have it, and I don't have it on the top of my brain.
Somebody.
We were doing stuff, getting ready. So
There will be
well,
a
look,
speaker
just
next week.
don't worry about it. Just look it up on our. I'm cutting my head off. On Weekly Wise on our Facebook page. It'll be. We'll have all the information there for our next Weekly Wise speaker next week. So with that, thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Debe Cabillo.